what's going on, guys? This is Mitchell. Hey, in today's video I want to talk about the subtle art of letting women come to you. I'm going to try to give you some like real life examples that you and I can relate to in this video. But the idea of this video comes from my studying and just from personal experience of past experience when I started really getting into like the art of attraction dynamics between men and women and really starting to understand relationships in general, and then looking back over the course of when I've been learning this and looking at my behavior in relationships and comparing that to what I'm learning now, what should be happening. This is why I wanted to film that video, because the idea of letting women come to you for men can be like really confusing, and I say that because we're like genetically wired to want to, if we want something, we're going to do something or do anything to get what we want like now. Like, we do not like waiting. Waiting for men, it's a fucking nightmare. Okay? And especially because we live in a day and age now where we've got our phones on us, Amazon Prime can ship you something overnight, so our attention spans are getting lower and lower, and that's also affecting our inability to wait. Now, when it comes to letting women come to you, then what I want to say is this, okay? So when you need to understand when it comes to like relationships, if a woman reaches out to you, if a woman does something to get in your orbit, she's choosing you. And what do you think's better? Chasing a girl, trying to get her attention, or, and now, okay, let's pretend that the two girls I'm talking about you're into. Okay, so what do you think's better? You chasing a girl that you're into and you're trying to make a date set up, or there's another girl that you're into and she's choosing to come to you. She's choosing to text you first. She's choosing to call you first. Whereas this girl over here, you have to fucking reach out to her, and then you might have to wait a day or two to get a response, if that. This is what I mean by letting women come to you. Now, the art of doing this is literally, this is going to sound so simple, but it's the hardest fucking thing in the world. It's so hard, depending on the girl, that if you really like this girl, you literally have to do nothing. The art of letting women come to you is by being patient. So let me give you some examples to try to understand this, okay? So if you are trying to set a first time date with a girl, or I don't even want to say that. Let's just say this. If you send a text message to a girl, you need to wait until she sends one back. If you ask a girl out on a date and she goes, oh, I don't really know if I can do it this week, maybe some other time, then you are going to use the takeaway clause, and you're going to say, okay, well, when you know your schedule, reach out to me in the future and let's plan a time to get together. Now, at this point, in this specific example right here, the woman is going to have two options. One, because she did not agree to a date immediately, chances are she's more than likely like going to flake out of your life forever, okay? But if she's like, yeah, cool, I'll reach out to you when my schedule's free, so you have two options here. You can wait as long as you need to wait. I mean, that means you will never reach out to this girl again until she reaches out to you first. And if she reaches out to you first, she's choosing you, or she's going to flake out of your life forever. Another example would be that if you, the idea of like letting women come to you, then okay, so here you go. Let's say it's been a couple dates, right? It's been a couple different dates now. You guys have been on like 3 dates or 4 dates. And in the past, it's been you, the man, that initiated dates with this girl. So 1 date a week, so you would text her every like 3 or 4 days, and then you'd set up a date for later in the week, and then you have that date, and then you wait another 3 or 4 days, and then you repeat the process. But now, in between that 3 to 4 day period that you would usually reach out, she texts you first. So she is choosing you, because the more time that a girl spends with you, the more she likes you, the more she's falling in love with you, the more she's going to naturally want your attention. So she's choosing to come to you. Here's another example. I have made this one in the past, and I'm willing to bet a lot of guys have, man. When you bring up the topic of being in a relationship, or even like I love you first, okay? Now, in my experience, I've always been the one to say I love you. Well, not always, but I've done that in the past. I think with the majority of my girls, I did have one girlfriend do that to me. So I don't know if this one applies or not. I really don't. But the more I start learning about this, the more it does. Okay, so let's pretend that this does apply. So I have brought up relationship conversations in the past. I've asked girls, hey, like, what are we? Hey, I kind of want to be official with you, or hey, I love you. These topics I am pushing onto the woman. Now, in the sake of this video, if she brought it up to me, if she brought up, hey Mitchell, I just want to tell you, like, I love you, or hey Mitchell, you know, what do you think about being, what do you think about, like, just kind of talking to just each other and not anyone else, or like something like that, okay? And so do you see what's happening here? If she's bringing up the conversation, she's coming to me. She wants to be monogamous with me. She loves me. Okay? So in the example here, the idea is really simple with this video. If in the initial courting or dating phases, I think it's the man's job to reach out and set a date with a girl up until she starts reaching out to you. Now, everything else moving forward, once she starts texting you first, your job is just to set up a date. But everything moving forward, whether that's going on, or whether that's her texting you first, her saying I love you, her saying I want to be in a relationship, her saying I want to marry you, her saying I want kids, I want to have sex, I want to go on, anything. Okay, we want the woman to come. We want the woman to bring that topic up first. Women they're just naturally like. Feminine energy is designed to love, to nurture relationships, and they taught from the younger to chase men. If you look at how a girl gets love when she's younger, she's been conditioned to run and find dad when she misses dad, get a bunch of love, and then when she's all filled up, she runs away. So she's like, okay, well, I've had enough time with you, I'm gonna go away. But when she misses dad, she comes back. So women have been conditioned to chase a dad when she misses him. Same thing applies in the relationship. But in this example, so I filmed the video on like over pursuing. So if you text a girl, hey, when are you free to hang out? And you don't hear from her from like 1, 2, or 3 days. And then a lot of guys, in this case, they'll be like, well, what the fuck is going on? They're scared that they're going to lose her because they haven't heard from her in a couple days. And they don't understand that women take time to process their feelings. And so it's natural for a woman not to text you at some point in time for a day, 2, 3, God, even a week. I haven't heard from a girl at the time of this video in 8 days. And so that's natural because interest in women is naturally going to drop. Right? And so the more time they have away from you, in that case, if you texted her and you haven't heard from her, that time away from you, if she likes you, is going to bring her back to you. So she's coming to you. Okay, so what's another example? I'm trying to get back on that. Fuck, I forgot what it is I was trying to talk about there. But I know if you text a girl, ask her out on a date. Oh, I think that's what it was. It's just, no matter what, over pursuing. If you text a girl and it's been 3 days and you haven't heard from her, a lot of these guys who are needy, insecure, and weak men, they're going to text the girl again because they're scared of losing her. Oh my God, did she find somebody else? Hey, Lindsay, did you get my text message about hanging out? I would love to see you. Are you free yet? Hey, Lindsay, it's been 2 days. Do you happen to know your schedule yet? It's Tuesday, haha. So, and bro, I've made this mistake in the past, man. That's why I can sit here and laugh about this. I've fucking double texted her. I used to have a girlfriend that I was working from home at the time where her and I lived together, and I wasn't like texting her to blow up, like to like complain about not like hearing from her while she was at work, but I was just sending her pictures of the cats. Now, because I was constantly sending her pictures of the cats, that's still, like, she's going to look at her phone and be like, holy shit, why do I have 13 different text messages from Mitchell, or 14 or 15? That's over pursuing to the fucking maximum, bro. And you got to think about that. So, like, if when it comes to over pursuing, I want you, how much of a turnoff is this? Have you ever been with a woman that has done that to you, where she's constantly texting you, or constantly calling you, or DMing you? I had friends in the past that used to send me like a ton of memes on Instagram, and I used to get a bunch of notifications, and I'm like, dude, that's so annoying. And I've got friends now that will send memes to like all day long, and it's not annoying. But in that case that I'm talking about, with the memes, or if you've had a girl blow your phone up in the past, it can be overwhelming, and it's kind of like a turnoff. It's kind of like, yo, Chill the fuck out, leave me alone. Well, the same thing applies here when it comes to over pursuing a woman. That's going to push her away from you because she wants to get away from that. That is such an uncomfortable feeling. And if we know that women operate based on how they feel, why would you want them to associate any uncomfortable feelings with you? You absolutely wouldn't. And then if you're over pursuing a girl, obviously she's not getting a chance to pick you because you're constantly in her fucking face. She's not going to have the time and space that she needs to think about you, to miss you, to talk to you, to her girlfriends or to her mom or to her dad or whoever she talks to. And so by the whole point of this, that whole art of letting women come to you, I hate saying this, like there's not an art to it, right? I mean, there is and there isn't. The art is just being patient. Waiting, literally doing nothing. If you text her, you do nothing until she texts you back. If you set up a date with her, you do nothing until that day and that time of that date occurs. So if you set a date with a woman and let's say today's Thursday, and I set a date with a girl on Sunday, I'm going to say, hey, cool, well, I'll see you Sunday night. Call me if anything changes. Otherwise, I'll see you at blah, blah, blah at 7. Or otherwise, I'll come pick you up. It'll be at your door at 7. And then she'd be like, oh my God, okay, cool. And then that's it. So from there, you do nothing. You just wait until that day comes, and then you go and pick her up. If she agreed to the date, well, she wants to see you. She's obviously making you a priority. So she's choosing to come to you. Another example, to give you like a real life example, and to kind of finish up this video, is I actually had a girl, to make it blatantly obvious on a girl coming to you. I had a girl that I met at Publix, super hot. She had like a bunch of tattoos and stuff on her. So I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, bro, I want to meet that girl. And Publix is, if you live somewhere out of Florida, you know, have Publix. Publix is a grocery store. So I was in line getting like a pub sub, just a sandwich at the time. And I looked over, and sure enough, there was that girl. So I rolled, because I'm in a wheelchair, I rolled up to her afterwards. I asked her for her name, started talking. She seemed kind of like aloof, like she wasn't even in, it's like she didn't know what was going on. But we started talking, conversating, and the situation just didn't seem like a good idea to ask her for a phone number or anything. So I was just like, hey man, it's good meeting you, I'll see you around. And then, I kid you not, 2 hours later, this girl's not even from Florida. We don't even have any mutual friends. 2 hours later, she found me on Facebook, added me, and then I added her back, and I was like, it seems like she reached out to me first, and I was like, seems like we had some unfinished business at Publix, huh? And then we started talking very briefly. I gave her my phone number. I set up a date with her. That's the most extreme example of a girl coming to you. There is no greater sign that a girl's interested in you than that example right there. Another example, I filmed a video talking about this one recently, but the girl that I haven't heard from in 8 days, I saw her in person, gave her my Instagram and my phone number. She added me on Instagram a week later, and then 3 weeks go by, I haven't heard from her. I see her again in person, and then the very next day, she chose to reach out to me. And then I sent her a text message saying, hey, reach out to me when you know your schedule. Let's get together and hang out in person, because we both agreed to hanging out in person because we had a hurricane on Wednesday, the day that I sent that text message, and it's been 8 days, and I haven't heard from her. Now, I'm in that position right now of letting her come to me. She already chose to come to me after 3 weeks, so she committed to me, and then so she committed to me on Instagram, so she chose to reach out to me. And then I ended up giving her my phone number, and we started talking, and then she reached out to me the next morning saying good morning. So her momentum is coming towards me. That's why I haven't talked to her in 8 days, and I'm not really, at this point in time, I'm like, dude, I'm sure you'll be back. It's just a matter of fucking waiting at this point. And that's really annoying, but in this case, I want to see where this goes with this girl, so I'm going to let her continue to keep choosing me. I already told her to reach out to me when she knows her schedule. It's been 8 days. You think she knows her schedule? Fucking more than likely. But I'm not a priority right now. That doesn't mean in the future that she's going to be like, oh my God, I miss Mitchell, and come back. That's what this whole space is. That's what this space apart is. I'm giving her the option to either follow through with her words or flake out from my life forever. And if that's the case, I'll see her in person every 3 weeks anyway. She works at the barbershop that I go to. She cuts hairs next to the chair next to me. So if I feel like if that's the case, if I wasn't going to hear from her, she would have rejected me during our Instagram conversation when I made my intentions with her very clear. So with that being said, guys, that's me, the video on the art of letting women come to you. Hopefully this topic or this idea is just very easy to understand from you. The whole point is we're not going to over pursue a woman by doing this, and if you're not over pursuing and the girl's chasing you, she can't be getting rid of you, and then you don't have to worry about being broken up with. And a girl, if she's choosing you, she's going to want to be around you more, she's going to want to kiss you, touch you, have sex with you, hook up with you more. That's why we want women to choose you. We want a girl that wants to be like, fuck yeah, I want to hang out with you, I want to see you. And by letting them come to you, they're making that choice to choose you out of the 30 other DMs that they're probably getting every single day in today's day and age. Now, if you're a guy that wants help when it comes to attraction and relationships in general, if you see a link down below for my book, that means I finally got this bad boy put together. I'm going to teach you things like how to approach women you don't know, how to have a conversation with them, how to tell if she likes you, if she doesn't like you, how to get her number, how to get her on a date. Now, you're going to understand some different psychology points of view. I got a couple chapters in there that talk about basically how the dating dynamic works, how men think, how women think, and then I touch on a few other things. So if you see a link down below, that's going to take you to a page where you can watch a video that's going to tell you how this book is going to help you, and then you can decide if you want it from there. And then if you also see a link to my coaching down below, that means my coaching is finally available and open for you. I've got the time to do that, and I help mostly men basically work on personal development, confidence, mindset, and like life mastery. That could be anywhere from like anything we want to touch on in your personal aspect of life, or when it comes to business, since I work for myself and I have the experience to teach people like that. So if those are available, you can pick and choose which one you want. With that being said, guys, if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe so other people can see it, and I'll talk to you guys soon, okay?